Anthony Fauci. Now, I don't think that he's going to get fired, but I think they might show him the off-ramp. He has to resign, they throw him a party, whatever. But I don't know how he can hang around any longer.
I think that will happen on the day you erect a memorial to the Houston Astros on your front lawn, Rob. Joe Biden doesn't fire people. He doesn't force people out. And they like Dr. Fauci. They think he's doing a heck of a job. So a lot of Americans don't like the job he's doing. I'd be surprised if he went anywhere anytime soon.
All right, let's hear from Rand Paul. He was featured on Axios over the weekend. Again, we're going to have him on the show tomorrow, but some very strong words about the fate of Dr. Fauci. Take a listen.
Well, he should be fired. I mean, the thing is, he's still...
Dr. Fauci should be fired.
Absolutely.
By the president.
Absolutely. The thing is just for lack of judgment, if nothing else. He's probably never going to admit that he lied. He's going to continue to dissemble and try to work around the truth and massage the truth.
And it's funny, the reporter for Axios, Chris, he seemed kind of indignant there. Like his response was, wait, fire the great Dr. Anthony Fauci? I don't think this guy's so great, and I don't think he has been for a long, long time.
Yeah, I think what Rand Paul was trying to get at there is that, Republicans and conservative messaging is going to say that Dr. Fauci lied, when in all honesty, he's playing a semantics game. It's the same game that educators play about critical race theory. Oh, it's not critical race theory, it's social emotional learning. Well, it's derived of critical race theory tenets. It's the same thing here. I'm not funding gain of function research, but you're going through the semantics process of getting gain of function research funded. It's a line where he's technically not lying, but he's also technically not telling the truth.
No.
It's a very interesting line that Rand Paul has to teeter right now.
Look, the guy, I'm telling you, Kelly, I looked up what perjury is as it relates to Congress and testifying. It's Section 1621. It covers general perjury with regard to testifying before the House and or Senate. If you willfully lie about something to which you are asked, you can be fined. The fine can be, huge sums of money. That's case specific, or you can be put in jail for up to 5 years and even more. Caspar Weinberger, there are examples of this happening. Former Secretary of Defense was indicted back in 1992 for lying to Congress about his role in Iran-Contra. George H.W. Bush, I believe, pardoned him. But there is precedent for this. Do you think Fauci perjured himself on Capitol Hill not once but twice?
Yeah, no, you're absolutely right, Rob. But Chrissy's also right. This is a game of semantics where no one's going to win. And this is also an indictment on the mainstream media. Listen, everyone is framing this as Rand Paul against Dr. Fauci and the beef that these two have with one another, when that is not it at all. Rand Paul exposed an issue that the United States government is funding research in China at the Wuhan lab that, makes these super viruses, right? That are manufactured, that are man-made, and we should not be doing that. But instead of focusing on that and the potential origin of this virus that's killed over 600,000 people, they are wanting to play up a personality war between these two folks. And this is just how misguided we are. And with the dogs, for example, there's been more outrage on Capitol Hill with, this experimentation that he granted for these dogs more than this viral outbreak of COVID-19. We've got to get our priorities straight.
Yeah.
The media needs to get the priorities straight. Newsmax has been on this story since the very beginning.
We've been talking about it for months.
I give you guys a ton of credit, but this is what we should really be looking at here.
Yeah, by the way, Dr. Fauci's a dog owner. I feel bad for that dog. My goodness, I feel bad for that dog. I want to get into that dog thing because I think Rachel Roller, dog owner, anybody that is a dog owner or a pet owner, this story, people are more upset about this than they are COVID origins or the EcoHealth Alliance grant to the Wuhan Institute of Virology. But this dog story, it took Twitter and the rest of the media, except for certain outlets, by storm yesterday. I do want to get into that, so let's pick it up on the other side when we welcome back the panel. But Kelly, that story was shocking when you read the details. Just shocking stuff. And Dr. Fauci has said before, the buck stops with him when it comes to the NIH and the NIAID, who provided the grant for that dog beagle research. story, which we'll get into in just a moment. So stay there. Chrissy, Kelly, Mark, we'll see you in just a moment. Alex is back with us. She's got to look at what we're watching for as we head into this Tuesday. Hey, Alex.
Hey, Rob. Well, President Joe Biden is set to campaign with former Virginia Governor Terry McAuliffe running again in a highly contested race in the state. And Transportation Secretary Pete Buttigieg and Homeland Security Secretary Alejandro Mayorkas will address the future of Travel Mobility Summit in D.C. And coming up right here on Wake Up America, Wisconsin Congressman and House Judiciary Committee member Tom Tiffany will join the show to discuss the large migrant caravan heading towards the U.S. southern border and what this means for the safety of our nation. You're watching Wake Up America only on Newsmax.
Selling a home is expensive and stressful, so we created our Smart Seller system to sell your home for top dollar and save you thousands in commissions.
I was amazed in the fact that my house sold in one day. Ideal agents saved me in the neighborhood of $20,000 to $25,000 in commissions. The process was as easy as it gets. They are the #1 way to sell your house.
Our service is free, available nationwide, and there's zero obligation. Call us today or visit idealagent.com.
Are you tired of using towels you think are going to be amazing, but don't actually dry you? They just push water around on your skin.
Other towels seem to smear the water on your skin because of the coatings.
After I dry off, my skin is still wet.
You deserve a better towel. Introducing MyPillow towels, the first towel that is guaranteed to dry you faster.
Hello, I'm Mike Lindell, and I'm here to tell you about my new product from MyPillow. Towels that actually work. I've created the best towel ever where it actually feels soft but dries us. What a concept.
The new MyPillow towels are exclusively made with 100% USA combed cotton. With proprietary technology and with maximum absorbency, they dry you faster and are guaranteed to work.
I'm interrupting this commercial right now. Retailers have canceled MyPillow. And to thank you for all your support, I'm going to pass the savings directly on to you. For a limited time, you get my 6-piece towel set. Regularly $109.99, now just $39.99. That's the lowest price ever.
I used to think that sheets were just sheets. I got the Giza Dream sheets. They are the most comfortable sheets I've ever had.
The Go Anywhere pillow is so easy to just roll up and take anywhere I want to go.
Go Anywhere pillow is really comfortable, so that's what I really like. It's nice and supportive and it's nice and small.
The MyPillow topper, for the first time, has enabled me to have a cool night's sleep. I'm able to go to bed and just get rest.
That's 3 inches of wonderful that's in the MyPillow mattress topper. It's just like a firm cloud.
MyPillow helps me get a good night's sleep so I can do my job in the morning.
Go to MyPillow.com to get deep discounts on all MyPillow products. For example, you get my dog beds for as low as $19.99. Or for a limited time, you can get my 6-piece towel sets. Regularly $109.99, now only $39.99. The lowest price ever with your promo code.
Sometimes the world can seem a cold place, so we gotta bring the warmth to it. Sometimes the world can seem a dark place, so we gotta become the light in it. Sometimes the world can seem a broken place, so we gotta strive to fix it. We prepare for the worst, but we must always expect the best.
Welcome back to Wake Up America. Time to fill you in on what happened last night on Newsmax. Former NYPD Commissioner Bernie Kerik joining Greg Kelly Reports to discuss New York City Mayor Bill de Blasio forcing members of the NYPD to choose between their job and taking the COVID vaccine, in case you missed it.
You know what? Let the men and women of the NYPD, a third, let them go on unpaid leave of absence. The city will implode. The city's already imploding as a result of de Blasio's policies. It's already, the crime is increasing, murder's increasing. You know, it's already imploding. Let them go on unpaid leave of absence. Let them disappear and let's see what happens.
You can catch Greg Kelly Reports weeknights starting at 7 p.m. Eastern.
It's going to be interesting to see how that plays out today. Tuesday, 5 p.m. Friday is that deadline. Right now, 50,000 of New York's finest are unvaccinated, and that deadline, again, 5 p.m.
We saw thousands marching over the Brooklyn Bridge yesterday.
And Bill de Blasio just doesn't seem to care, which is just so bizarre. All right, thank you, Rachel. Let's welcome back in the Powerhouse panel. Full panel back with us, Mark Halpern, Chrissy Clark, Kelly Sadler. I want to talk about this dog story, Chrissy, and just if you could sort of catch us up, what is going on here? Dr. Fauci apparently awarded a taxpayer-funded grant for an experiment in Tunisia with beagles where they used sandflies. Basically, without getting into all the gory details, these dogs were alive, they were sedated, and then once the experiment was over, these dogs, we're talking about over 1,000 beagles, they were all dead. And as you would imagine, pretty disgusting story. What are you hearing about this?
Well, what I'm hearing is that Americans now have a competition between who has the worst owner, Dr. Anthony Fauci's dog or former Governor Andrew Cuomo's dog. It's a tight competition from my knowledge.
Fauci's got the edge, I think, right now, right?
Yeah. It is a really sad story. I think Kelly made a great point in our last segment, though, that right now this is pointing towards the idea that Dr. Anthony Fauci might have been part of funding gain-of-function research that, brought. Oh, I can't even look at this.
It's terrible. It's terrible. And I apologize at home, too. This story is so shocking. And don't forget, without Dr. Fauci, he said he might not have known about this, Chrissy. It doesn't matter. The buck stops with you. You're the head of the agency, right?
Exactly.
Sorry, go ahead.
Exactly. No, it's just so sad, but it does take a story like this for Americans to get really interested, that speaks about the issues that we have with the pro-life movement right now. But in all honesty, it's really sad. And even if this is what the momentum took to, get the Fire Fauci movement really fired up, whatever it takes,
Yeah, well, think about it with Andrew Cuomo. You bring that up. It wasn't the 15,000 nursing home deaths that didn't have to happen that brought him down. It was the sexual accusations of sexual misconduct. Mark, this, and you got to laugh at this, not that long ago, by the way, August of 2021, the New York Post, the Washington Post comes out with an article, and this, you got to laugh at this now, how ridiculous this is. The Post comes out with an article that says, Fauci is my dog. And it's a 10-paragraph fawning article about how many people in this country have named their new dogs Fauci because of how much they respect the good doctor. Boy, that would be a rough name now after this story came to light, huh?
This is one of the big challenges our society faces regarding the dominant media. You saw it with Andrew Cuomo. You see it with Dr. Fauci. They spend months and months, sometimes years, lionizing someone, making them into a hero. And then when the evidence contradicts that, it takes them a long time, and sometimes never, to recognize they made a mistake and to revise and extend their remarks. You're seeing that now with Fauci.
Do you think Fauci's days are numbered, Mark? I know you didn't think that Andrew Cuomo's. You didn't think it would happen before the 2022 election, and we saw what happened to him. Do you think that the same fate could find Dr. Fauci?
I really don't think so. He doesn't want to quit, and Joe Biden doesn't like to fire people.
Control room, make sure you grab that sound when he does get canned. I want to play it back for Mark. Ron DeSantis, Kelly, was asked about this dog story yesterday. Take a listen to what the governor of Florida had to say.
What they were doing with those puppies is flat out disgusting. It's despicable. That needs to stop. I cannot believe American tax dollars would go to treat those dogs the way those dogs would be treated. And, I really think Fauci needs to be held accountable.
Kelly, your thoughts?
Yeah, Fauci does need to be held accountable, but he hasn't been held accountable thus far, only by, Newsmax and some other conservative media. He's been lionized, just like Mark said, by the mainstream media. And if you watched CNN yesterday, they were doing their best to cover for him, to make excuses for him. Well, there's no possible way Dr. Fauci can oversee every single grant that comes out of his agency. And yes, some things are going to go wrong. So I do agree with Mark. Dr. Fauci is going nowhere under the Biden administration, but they would be wise to take him out of the spotlight and let him stop being, the voice of the COVID-19 precautions and what you should be doing. He should step back into the agency and actually do his job.
Yeah, I think he should just retire. Guy's 81 years old. Enough's enough. At the very least, I think we should have hearings on Capitol Hill. I'm stunned that we haven't had more of that. And by the way, this is the same guy that's still making health decisions for all of our kids nationwide. Just earlier this week, he said that over the weekend, rather, that kids should be wearing masks in schools, even if they are fully vaccinated. So this man still has so much power. And until we strip him of that power, this will just continue unabated. Mark, final thought, then I want to talk about Alec Baldwin for a quick moment.
I'll yield back the balance of my time.
All right. Thank you very much. Only 5 minutes this time. All right, Alec Baldwin, this story just keeps getting more and more bizarre. I'm wondering if anyone thinks, Chrissy, we'll start with you. Could we see civil charges or criminal charges for Baldwin specifically here, just for the negligence?
But I'm not a legal expert, so I can't say whether or not there's going to be civil or criminal charges for it. What I do understand is that the assistant director who was part of the production and that was in charge of handling props and safety has had charges against him about unsafe work environments in the past. So if it was an accident, it was an accident that could have been caught.
Yeah, it's a good point. Baldwin is a producer, so he has some liability as a producer on this movie. But the story's so bizarre, and I still have so many questions about why a live bullet would be on that set. Panel, we can pick that back up top of the hour. Looking forward to it. Mark Halpern, Kelly Sadler, Chrissy Clark. See you again soon. Rachel?
All right, thanks, Rob. The FDA Advisory Committee will meet this morning to discuss authorizing Pfizer's COVID-19 vaccine for use in children ages 5 to 11. Joining us for more on this, the founder and president of Healthy Tennessee, trauma surgeon in Nashville, Dr. Manny Sethi. Good morning to you, doctor.
Good morning, Rachel. Thanks for having me.
Thanks for joining us. Now, that meeting of the FDA is set to start in just about an hour, just a little bit over. What are you expecting to come out of it?
You know, I think Pfizer is going to show some of their data, phase 3 trial, where they're showing that the vaccine was effective in children. The 2 shots, about 10 micrograms per dose, which is about a third of what they give adults. But overall, the risk-benefit ratio is low, meaning that they think it's beneficial. The one side effect was myocarditis or inflammation of the heart, but again, they said that's very, very low. So I think the FDA will approve it, and then it will move on to the CDC, and then it will probably be released under an EUA or emergency authorization.
So how do you see this taking place in schools? If it is under emergency use authorization, can schools require that kids 5 to 11 get the vaccine in order to attend?
Well, in California, even without any data about complications, Gavin Newsom, the governor there, has already said that they're going to mandate it, which I think is very wrong. I think that in many school systems, they're probably going to try to mandate it. Here in Tennessee, I don't think that we will. And I certainly, as a parent, am going to wait for a little while to see more of the data, what it looks like. And I think mandating it would be a mistake, very frankly.
Let's talk a little bit about what's happening in Tennessee. The Tennessee Medical Board is cracking down on doctors and nurses there who spread what they're deeming as misinformation about the coronavirus vaccine. As a doctor yourself, Dr. Sethi, how is it that we're now being told that doctors can no longer give their opinion? What does that do exactly for the patient, for the country, and for your profession?
Well, when I saw this, I was so very deeply disturbed that the Board of Medicine here in Tennessee is going to look at what doctors and nurses say online. I just very frankly disagree with this. I mean, if you look back, 14, 18 months ago, you had Fauci and even the Surgeon General saying that masks should not be used in coronavirus, or the WHO said, it's not humanly transmissible. So in that phase at that time, would you go and take away their medical license or strip them of their role? And that's the issue, right? Science, medicine is an evolving thing. And if we as physicians and nurses don't have the ability to practice our craft as how we know it without risk of being put in jail or losing our license, I think it's very disturbing. And I would encourage the leadership of our state to really think very hard about this.
And it makes it difficult when you're constantly told to consult with your medical professional. As I have said multiple times, I will never give personal vaccine advice. Always consult with a doctor. And now doctors being told what exactly they should be consulting. Real quickly, you did bring up Dr. Anthony Fauci. I want to ask you, the NIH director has, of course, been all over the news after those reports that he funded controversial virus research testing on puppies. Still yet to be confirmed. What did you make of that, though?
Well, I've said for the longest time, first of all, that I think Fauci should resign or be fired. I think he's totally boggled our code response. But what it does go to show the American people is that we really don't know what we are funding. $2 million on this sort of dog research. I think is, first of all, not only animal cruelty, but secondly, I think that money can be used in so many different ways for Alzheimer's, for cancer.